Alright, welcome on back to some Minecraft musing, two taboos. I'm excited to be done with the two taboos playlist because it is like the most prickly and the most uncomfortable subject to talk about. But real quick before we get too far in this, check it out. We have a celestial, like aurora borealis, northern lights type sky. My son found this PvP setting, and I didn't like it because it changed all the items too, but somehow I left it on, and I also have my city texture pack. So I still have all the stuff that I like, all the tools and everything, and the blocks the way I like. But the sky is now this like ethereal, like surreal or whatever, really cool looking sky. Also, put in a lot more work just now. I spent a couple of hours because I'm on vacation, happy vacation, and I did that. But I wanted to hop in. I need to finish the lapis too, but it takes a lot of lapis. Like the designs I'm having, that's like what, 8 lapis in each one of those sections because there's 4 outer in the corners and then 4 inner. But yeah, I finished that row of columns. Well, I need to extend out that bottom floor, and I'm just going to make that the corner. Like I'm going to have one more row of columns on the edge there. Or no. Yeah, I think I need to go one more deep. Or what I might do, because either I have to go one more deep row of columns, or, let's see, can I get back over here? Not very skillfully or gracefully. But so the edge, the border is made of thick, like solid blocks of polished diorite, whereas the interior is all slabs, because that would take an insane amount of diorite if that was all solid blocks. So yeah, I need to extend this outward, get out here. And yes, it's still in peaceful because I'm actually creating a dangerous zone over there. Sorry. So it's a little weird with this texture pack because you can't really tell easily when it's day or night. I don't think you can even see the sun. You can just tell when there's light on blocks or shade on blocks. Mm. Anyways, yeah, and then if you look on the map, it's starting to come along like it's going to be like a white square all the way around because the top layer I'm just going to completely fill in. And this will be kind of a neat area to hunt Enderman when I get to that point. I'm making one of those in the realm, but which yeah, I played the last episode up in the realm, or one of the last episodes, which was fun. But I like to stay here now because I want to talk about the project. So I did some coding, just some brief Python scripting. I'll go ahead and keep working on this, I guess, meantime. But yeah, so I just wrote a couple little Python scripts or bits of script to get country or not country codes, state codes, and let's see, how should I do this? I mean, because eventually I'll replace it with lapis, like all of the interior spots. I guess I could just do. Oh, wait. Oh, so I don't have the border on the bottom layer. Hmm. Well, just go up and work on the top layer, I guess. Yeah, because basically I need to like thicken that. But anyways, no. So I wrote the Python scripts to, or so far where it's at. It has a state code for each state and even each territory too, which I know territories don't really vote in our elections. I don't think. I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure I would have remembered. Although I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't really pay attention too much except to the outcome. So, anyways, so I have it to where there's a dictionary of the 2 letter code, their state code, and then the value of what it represents. And they're tuples, they're key value pairs. And then I was thinking that I could have the left side of a decimal be the state code or the territory code. So if we do want to include, territories in our voting and whatnot, which as we should. Actually, wait. So we need how many more? One, two, three, four for that section. One, two, three, four. Then one, two, three, four. So 12. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that is death if I were to fall. But so now this will be enough for the in between the two columns, the new column, and then a skirt or a border on the outside, or an edge, however you want to think about it. Yeah, and I'm missing a few. Oh, excuse me. Happy vacation. Oh, I still have so much to do. Oh yeah. Anyways, so the two-letter or two, I keep saying country code. The two-letter state code would be on the left, and then on the right, you could have first name dot last name dot whatever. I mean, you could separate it out in so many different ways. But the idea is for every single voter in every single area, every state is going to need a hash, and once they have that hash that's unique to them and only them, like it can't be anywhere else, and that's what the country code or the state, jeez, that's what the state code eliminates because then it breaks it down to it's you can't have any collisions because the first two characters are going to be different or unique. They're going to be a unique value just in that, and then you're tacking on first name and last name. And the way that hashing works is the farther away, and that's the other thing I'm kind of like at right now. I'm researching which hashing algorithm I want to make their unique key with. And it doesn't really matter a whole lot because even if there's a collision, then you would just need to mitigate collisions. You're not mitigating every single one. Like there's going to be a part or point where let's see, one, two. I think that's how it works. No, no, it doesn't. It's four. So one, two, three, four. There we go. So, and that's not even really all that important. It's like the main point is like you need to get to a spot, and I'm working on a write file section right now to write the results out. So and then making a generator, but I need to come up with names. That's the tricky part. Is I need to have like, okay, let's make up 10 million or whatever the population of America is, and this needs to be a scalable solution to where it can work for, say, any country, any state, any territory, anything. Like one person, one vote, and then also being able to communicate like what is at stake, like what's being voted on, the blue book, if you will. So also we can just take this all the way out because we're going to have that 4 block edge or border this whole way out. Whew. And then look, there's another scar like in there, like you can kind of go and spelunking and like and see some islands off in the waves. It's a beautiful game. I love this game, especially with the city shaders and all that, or the city texture pack. Oh, it's scary. Like, and if I up until I knew that you could just crouch and not have to worry about falling off blocks. Oh, it was so hard. Also, yeah, look at my character. I'm an iron golem with party dealy bobbers, like Rick uses in Rick and Morty. Anywho, so actually, I do have one thing I need to do before 5 today. Now I could send it off tomorrow morning. Oh well. Either way, gotta try to get my car fixed. All this, like, yeah, hesitant for that because then you gotta do the courtesy shuttle, which is fine, I guess. But I try to time it like to one of the days that I don't have the kids, or it's also light at work, and then I don't have other things going on. But this thing. So, anyways, once you get the list of people, then I need to make an email server or some way to set up email and multi-factor authentication through accounts linked to email, and then protect the database. And like, there's so many steps and so many things to do. But I'm just trying to build as much as I can, like this week, and then just put it out there. Like, let some of my colleagues know. Be like, hey, this is what I'm working on. Here's the code. Here's my section of the GitHub, and yeah, and then go from there, or even post it in the coding game community because I feel like that, even if I just put it at this stage, I could be like, hey, here's an idea for a voting system where you have, unique voter registration IDs that are a hash created by their state code and then first name and last name. I'd like to keep away from using a social security number because like we really need to keep those private, and really birthdays should be private as well. And so once people figure out the hashing algorithm, if there's a risk of being able to reverse engineer people's information. But you could also do zip codes. That's another value that would be an identifier, but at the same time, so you could still check it against what they have on record, but then you need to make sure that your address is up to date with the DMV or whatever government entity that your voter registration is checked against. And really, when people fill out voter registration, you can maybe have like your current address on there, and that could still cause some problems. But overall, the point is once you get someone their unique voter registration number, then all you need to do, oops, yeah, hmm, I don't know if I want to go that far, but at the same time, like we're getting close to, like, I kind of do actually, because ultimately I'd like to have like a railway or some quick way. And see, there's another big cave. That's cool. Have like a rocket launcher out there. So I don't know, NORAD. All right, yeah, we'll do that. We'll continue on. Now this is scary. I could die. Ah! I know I have a long ways, but I'll have to like take a look and check. Oh gosh. Then imagining how this is gonna look from this direction, like looking down at this from the north. So, anyways, it's really just keeping the database secure, the user information secure, not having too much identifying information. I mean, an email isn't even all that special anymore. Like, it's really easy to get people's emails, and everybody gets spam, regardless of like what you do or how careful you are, it almost always seems to happen. So, it's better to just prepare for like, okay, let's assume I am going to get spam. What am I going to do? Well, make sure it makes sense. It doesn't look sketchy, or if it does look sketchy, just ignore it. Worst case, if it is important, they'll write again. If it's really really important, the police will write to you. Uh, but no. In fact, and even then, I've had the police station, the quote unquote police station of Fort Collins, call me. Someone had spoofed the number of the Fort Collins police station and tried to get a hold of me, and I let it go to voicemail. And they said, "Hello, this is the Fort Collins police. Please call us back." I was like, "Oh gosh, okay." So I called them back. Duh, and like, and they were just like, "Oh no, that was a scam. Don't worry about that." And it was great. I had a nice talk with them and learned something about something that was happening, and so yeah. Let's see. But this thing, yeah. So once you get multi-factor set up on it and you have people using user accounts, even then it's not that big of a deal. Like, I mean, this is just a risk of like one person's vote, and they have to, like, the work is on them to make sure that their vote is counted and correct. And the way they do that is they go to the website, they can see their voter ID number. They will need to be comfortable with Control F to find, and Control C and Control V and Control F. And really, I think we should try to train everybody on how to use that. And most people are. It's not like people are adverse to learning this stuff. It's just they might not know it, or they might know it. This was me for a long time, for sure. Like, I knew it, but I didn't use it. I knew how to Control C, Control V, but I still like find myself right-clicking, doing copy, doing paste. And that's all it is like you need to be able to access your email, make sure it's protected with multi-factor so that nobody else has access to your email. And then once you get from there, then you get your voter registration ID number sent to your email of your choice. And this is all, and that's why it's kind of like the burden is on the user to be able to vote effectively and securely and to prevent fraud. And even then, like, say they're compromised, which, we're getting better at email security anyway as a society. Like, we're just doing it. People are fed up with all the nonsense and the phishing, so people are reporting it. IP addresses are getting logged, countries are getting examined. Like, anyways, that's my old soapbox with all that. But for this, once you have your ID, then your ID is registered with your state, county, whatever, like your voter registration office, like it already is. Like, we're taking the existing infrastructure of voting, and just adding an online component to it. And you could still probably do mail-in ballots if you feel more comfortable that way. And then I think it should still record your choice and make it public as long as it's just hidden by the anonymity of your voter registration ID number, which would be a big long hash of your state, a dot, your first name, a dot, your last name, a dot, and then maybe your zip code and maybe another dot. I don't know. Like there's many ways to make them unique. Like, and that's probably what I would do is like if there was a collision, I would first document it, be like, hey, there was this collision with this voter from this county or this. And you could also put the county too. So then like the likelihood is even remote, but you still got to plan for it. Say there's still probably going to be 10 collisions. What would you do? Or 100 collisions in a state? Because it depends on how big of the data set they want to start lumping together. Like even if you just kept it at just state level, you're dealing with what, like a few million people. That's a few million different numbers. They have to be, of course, there are a million different values in 7 digits. There's a million and one, actually, because zero, all zeros is one. Actually, no. In 7 digits, there's more than a million. There's like, there's a million digits or in 6 digits, there's a million. Sorry, that's right, because you can have 9999999 and 0000000. So, anyways, my point being, it's not that hard to make sure there is a unique number for every single human being if there's a hash that's, say, 30 digits long. That's usually what hashes are, like at least 12 to 30 digits. I don't even know exactly, but I feel like when I've been looking at them for hashing algorithms and security applications, like, yeah, it's a decent long string, but that's why you need Control C, Control V, and Control F. So you copy it from, well, Control C, Control F, Control V. There you go, in that order. So first you copy it, or well, even double clicking too. But I have to look at Macs and Apples too to make sure that this is still a thing. Whoops, let's leave this stuff here. But what is this? Uh, yeah, okay, sorry. I'm off from work, but just saw that somebody still mentioned me, so I wanted to make sure it wasn't like a fire. Anywho, so yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So far, that's where I'm at. I'm at the point where I'm about to start generating fake people. I need to figure out a clever way to use a bunch of first names and last names. Like, I think ultimately what I'm going to do is, and it's hard because I'm working in virtual machines too. They're not even connected to the internet until I feel comfortable with the security on the actual web server. But since I'm linking databases and all this stuff and like some back end, and I don't want it exposed to the outside world, so it's offline for now. Um, anyways, not that it matters. Because by the time most of you see this, it'll already be pretty secured, or it'll be offline. Either way, it won't be a target or an attack surface. So, anyways, I do love this sky. I love that my kids are just finding stuff like this too. Like, he did the character, he did the dealy bobbers. I mean, no, he didn't do the dealy bobbers. This is a party pack. Like, it's a pre-made skin, but he's made some pretty cool skins, and he's uses a couple of programs. We're experimenting with some things, and he's been putting out some stuff. So, well, not a lot, like, but he's been making a couple of things, and I'm just kind of inspiring him. Or, well, I'm not doing much. Like, he and his sister are both very inspired to be like creative like this. And she's designing some pretty cool like FNAF type stuff. Let's go harvest. That's what I was gonna go do. Let's go get. Actually, where are we at with this one? Okay, yeah, we still got like a good 10 minutes. So explain the voting thing. So really, that's it. Just like having a web server that has the capability to handle. What's the population of America? Let's just start with that. I mean, because I'd probably do Colorado as a test case. Just start my state, and then let's see here. Google's. I have so many tabs open. Okay, while that's loading. Oh, here we go. Okay. Also was able to finally recently clean out some of the videos on my phone, so now it's moving a lot faster. Let's see. Well, faster, not a lot faster. It could be better. All right, population of USA. 333.3 million in 2022. Okay, so and that's um country or no, population by country. Spelled horribly. Here we go. List of countries and dependencies by population. All right, cool. So, because if we design this to be handle or to be able to solve the problems for the largest country in the world, then we've made it fully scalable for the world, and maybe even overshoot it a little bit, like throw on a few extra million, maybe an extra billion. Who knows? Mm. Let's see. The list of countries and dependencies by population includes sovereign states, inhabited territories. Where's the thing? Oh, is that so? India is 1.3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that 1 trillion? Hold on. Can't see the picture. 1.354 billion. Okay, so and that could actually be a thing too, because like in America we use a comma for like 1,000, but yeah, I think this is 1.45 billion, 208, 200.8 million, 82 million. We're at about 326 million according to this. Mexico's at 130 million. That's impressive. You think of Mexico as not having nearly as much population as us as, and it's half or less than half. Half would be about like 160, but and it's at 130. Okay, so anyways, we're looking at I think it's like 8 billion. Wait, here we go. All 15,266 squares show where the world's 7.633 billion people live. Now, that's a lot of user accounts. A lot. But the thing is you could have one web server per state, per country, per. So you are breaking it down into like maybe the countries with the largest population. But okay, so if I were to design something for 333 million, I don't think I have the resources to do that, but I don't have to. If I just put the idea out there and make it scalable, I'm thinking Kubernetes, by the way, for all this. Like, because I've been looking into some of that technology, the container technology, where it makes a streamlined, it's like a virtual machine, only even smaller, pared down for even more compact, well, portability and everything. Like you're making it to where you can make this coded thing, like containers. They're just transportable pieces of code, or storage areas more so, with code in it. And you can just, like, if one goes down, another one can go up. Like, you can make several nodes of these containers, or several nodes that are these containers. And like if you make a good enough design that's sturdy across replication, yeah, totally, you could do that. And all it needs is just a database, um, a web server that people can see in real time, that um, the choice is toggled. Although that's probably the hardest part, is like, so once you get all the user accounts set up and they're secure and people can log into them, and then it's secured with multi-factor authentication, and maybe even enforcing like authenticator apps, like not just like text messages, because those are the weakest, or one of the weakest forms of multi-factor authentication currently because of replay attacks, stuff like that. And even then, it's just more secure to have a authenticator app, or even a passkey. I've heard, I think is even, I think I was reading that passkeys are supposedly even more secure, because what those are, it's a combination of your MAC address, your device's address, and everything. So it is like a fingerprint of you and your device. And now that gets into some kind of big brother concerns, like you are now trackable, which, let's be honest, ever since cell phones were made, you've been trackable. Like it's just it's a fact. Like if you're now, granted, you do have some privacy, and the government isn't allowed to just like casually watch you all the time. Like they have to justify following you, but it's not that hard to justify following you if they suspect you of anything. I've even heard rumors that drug dealing is considered domestic terrorism, and it's like, and we were at war with terror for a while when the Patriot Act allowed like a lot of spying on people, gave a lot of jurisdiction, and even for me just saying that, like YouTube's scanners are gonna pick up those keywords and be like, whoa, hey, buddy, this could be dangerous. And I hope I don't get a warning from that, because I don't mean any of that in any negative way. But And I realized they don't really. I don't think there's a guarantee that they have human eyes check out complaints. Not even complaints. Like it's the robot scan that found it. Like I'm talking about the other warning that I got, which shall not be named. I feel like I'm in Harry Potter with Voldemort. Like I can't say certain keywords, which, and I get it. Like that was like in the movie Seven, where there were keywords that from a library search that flagged this guy that they were investigating, and that's what I was meaning. It's like all they need is a warrant, or they need a judge to be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. This does seem sketchy. Go ahead and investigate this person. Or, hey, yeah, you can get their computer logs. You can get their, everything they've done. That's why I am so paranoid about even looking like I'm doing the wrong things anymore. Like, there was a website, 4chan, back in the day, that it was funny. It had some funny memes, but then it had some weird stuff on it. And I quickly found out, I was like, oh, this is kind of a sketchy site. And I stopped going there. And I made the mistake of talking about it on a date once, like, and it was weird. It was a date, but it was also like with her friend, like her older brother figure. That was like, I don't know, I don't get it. It was weird, but and then I was nervous, and I happened to mention that. And the first thing he says, he's like, oh, that has pictures of underage, cartoon kids and stuff, and like, and bad stuff. And I agree, that is bad stuff. But I was like, yeah, it's a freely shared place. It has everything on there. I remember Kazaa, like back when we used to be able to download stuff from Kazaa that we thought was free. Nothing's ever free, and that's why I love that episode of Young Sheldon where he downloads a pirated software, a pirated video game, a train game, and it ends up having a virus that just destroys his computer. And it's like, and you almost wonder if gaming companies or even like media companies or maybe like Sony or Disney like put out fake pirated downloads that would destroy your computer, and then just like Nacho in Breaking Bad, like I like stealing from criminals because they have no recourse. Like, what are you gonna do? Go to the police and be like, this pirated movie that I bought illegally ruined my hard drive. Like, it destroyed my computer. I want to sue. What? Who? The person that sold it to you? They're probably long gone, and they can't get a hold of them. Like they intentionally try not to be able to get a hold of afterwards. Like, there is no return policy on pirated, stolen stuff. I imagine. Like, if it were me, which I don't, that's a whole place where, yeah, I don't think I'd ever try to pirate a. I mean, I would try to get it to where maybe make an anonymous donation to where a kiddo could take a date or something and use some community funds that are pooled, be like, you know what, I don't have the money, or offer them a job. That's the other thing. Like, I had a job all through high school. So I was able to take my girlfriends to movies and take them out to dinners and all that. Not a lot because I had some pretty bad habits, but like still, just work, earn it. And then you feel better too because you're like, yes, I did this. And the whole time while you're working there, you're doing something for someone else. You're making money for someone else. You're socializing with other people, so you're getting some of your social skills in there. And then, and actually, I dated a lot of the people I worked with. Oh my gosh. Wait, we were talking about voting. That's what we were talking about. And that giant Cathedral of Justice. No, that just really cool looking Parthenon looking thing. Um, Yeah, I mean the voting thing, I just got to keep plugging away at it. And like I said, as soon as I get it to a decent spot, I'm just gonna chuck it up there and just be like, hey everybody, take a look at this thing, or maybe make a coding game thing. There we go, because that was pretty successful. I got to check that. I'm getting close to 50,000 views. I think it's at like 47. I mean only like 200 or 300 likes, but because you have to make an account to like it. But I mean, people are at least looking at it, and you don't have to have an account on Coding Game to go through there. Mm. But anyways, for those that don't know, Coding Game is a coding learning website that I'm a member of that has a capability of like posting. Oh wait, we're making some emeralds, but it has the capability of posting code tutorial type things, or they call them playgrounds. So and I have one on there for Python, just beginner Python concepts, the basics. I have another one for Java, which is okay. It doesn't run in the browser. The Python one, and it can. It totally can. That's what's frustrating, is because I know that it can do it. Also, I need to fix this. Like, I need to make a border for the outside, too. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's put the dirt here. Nope. Well, anyways, I think I want to get back to some Dark Souls, because I'm getting a lot of headway, a lot of progress. Let's see, and then how do I don't even know how to do all like that. Almost. Because I think they can get all the way up here and then fall in there. I gotta figure out a way to get them out. Something killed that cow. Maybe it was me. I don't know. Anyways, ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one. And yeah, hopefully I'll have some more headway on actual creating user accounts at database so they can log in. And once I get to a point where I can even just say get like 10 people to be able to log in, have an email account, secure it with multi-factor, then I can start scaling it up to see if I can do it for like 1,000 people. Then if I can do that, then do it for 1,000,000 people. Then if I can do that, and that's a big if. Like that's a lot of resources at that point. I mean, granted, having 1,000,000 entries on a database, that's not terrible. It's like a spreadsheet just with 1,000,000 lines. Like, and then you're only checking it with I don't even know, but it's like I got to figure out what tech stack do I want. Do I want to do a MongoDB database or Mongo database, like where everything's a file record, or supposedly that's secure for one reason or another, or do I want to just do a MariaDB database or Maria database because that's free and included in Linux, but then free doesn't always mean great. And then all security depends on how secure you make it. It still comes back to the designer, the developer, and yes, I'm certified as a white hat and I know like what's supposed to be done. Doing it in practice and having done it a lot, that's part of why I'm keeping it disconnected from the internet. At least until I feel good about it. And then, again, this is a baton thing. It could be handed off to another computer scientist or another tech enthusiast or another anyone. And then they could go and do it. So, alright, ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one.